Hey guys, I'm Adam86 and welcome back to a brand new Arsenal video. Today we're going to be talking all about the Liverpool game and obviously the preview of the West Ham game as well coming up on Sunday. So yeah, let's just get straight into it guys. Obviously we were 8 points clear at the top of the league, and then obviously we played Liverpool at Anfield, which is always a difficult place to go to. We've always struggled there, we've struggled there for a long time. And I don't think they've conceded a goal there since the beginning of 2023, so it's always going to be a difficult task. Man City lost there, United got absolutely spanked there. So yeah, it's definitely a difficult place to go. Always knew it was going to be a stressful game. And it was a really stressful game. Went 2-0 up. I think we had a really good first half. Obviously, it was a game of two halves. The first half we were absolutely brilliant, I felt. We dominated the game pretty much for the first half hour at least. But we allowed them in it again. And, Liverpool have just got a weird thing with Anfield where they just come back into the game. And, yeah, we managed to let them score, get a goal in. And obviously, when you go even if you're 2-1 up at Anfield, you're not going to be secure in that. So we ended up conceding another goal of Bobby Firmino, Roberto Firmino. I don't like calling him Bobby. It's not his name. And yeah, he scored an equaliser, and we ended up getting a 2-2 draw. Um, the reaction to this game, I felt my initial reaction was annoyance. Like, I was really annoyed at this game. It was a super stressful game. The referee was just giving Liverpool everything. I don't think any Liverpool fan in the entire world with a straight face can turn around and say the referee was not 100% in their pockets the whole game. Um, Foul after foul after foul. Hal Robertson, I think he did he get a yellow card for that incident with the sideline guy? I can't remember, but how he didn't get a yellow card in the first half, I have no idea. It was fouling Martinelli in left, right, centre. Um, yeah, just I mean, I don't really want to go on about the referee in this game, although it was absolutely horrific. It was just a terrible referee. I'm not going to go too much on it about it. I've made my point clear. It's just a terrible referee. Don't know whether he was just incompetent or whether he was biased, but that's a conversation for other people to have. So yeah, 2-2 draw at Anfield. On the face of it, I mean, at the time, being 2-0 up, needing the win, I was angry. I was like, what the hell have we done? We let them back into the game, especially probably the last third of the game. For a good half an hour towards the end of the game, they were just dominant, and they were peppering us. And Ramsdale made like 5 or 6 really world class saves. I think he's proven now that he's England's best goalkeeper. How Pickford is being picked before him, I'll never know, because Pickford's been having a terrible time with Everton. Um, yeah, so I mean, but now that was my initial reaction, annoyance and anger. But I think a point at Anfield's actually pretty decent, considering our recent record there, and also the record they've had this season. They've been terrible this season, Liverpool, but they've been really good at home, and I think that people are overlooking that. Fans of Man United and City bantering us, and even Chelsea as well, Spurs as well, who are absolutely in the mud right now. They're all bantering us for getting a draw at Anfield. It's like, especially United fans, like, dude, you got pumped 7-0 there like a couple of weeks ago, like, pipe down. Um, but it is what it is. I mean, in terms of the title race now, we're only 6 points clear now, which is even 6 points. I mean, I feel like 6 points is a good lead. Like, you want to be 6 points clear at the top of the table, but with this City team, it feels like 2 points. It feels like 1 point. We do have to play them at Etihad in like 3 games time. So that's looming on the horizon, and that's what every Arsenal fan's looking at right now. Um, if Arsenal can get any kind of result from that game, I think then we're definitely in the driver's seat. But the odds are that City are going to beat us at the Etihad, and we've got to take that on the chin. for me, the other game, I'll go through all the games that are coming up. Um, but yeah, that's my initial reaction. I'm not going to go too much into the game itself. It's been a few days now. I really can't be bothered to go back into the stress fest that was. It was just so stressful. The referee didn't help, but Martinez's goal was brilliant. Him getting a goal was absolutely fantastic. I was really aching for him to get a goal. You know, he's had a long injury. He's been out for a while. He's been itching to come back. He's played bits and pieces for the last couple of games, and you know he gets to start and he scores, and that's what we've missed. Especially with Eddie and Ketia being out as well. Yeah, so that's my analysis of the game. What do you think of the game? Do you think it was a good game from Arsenal? Do you think it was a bad game from Arsenal? Some people think, because it was a game of really two halves, some people think that Arsenal did really well. Um, and some people think that it was a point stolen from Arsenal, that maybe Liverpool should have scored a third and won the game. Definitely the last 30 minutes, but I think the first 30 minutes it was all Arsenal. The first 30 minutes, Arsenal dominated that game completely, and that's why we went 1 nil up and ended up going 2 nil up at one point. So for me, it was a game of two halves. I think it's annoying that Arsenal were 2 nil up and then still managed to draw 2-2, but it's also quite nice that we didn't lose the game, because I think times gone by, last year we would have lost that game quite heavily. Aaron Ramsdale saved our asses. Like I'm gonna be blunt with it. He saved us. The team just fell apart. The substitutions as well. I mean, Arteta's got it right 99% of this season, but once or twice now in the games he's made some dodgy substitution decisions. Bringing on Kivior instead of taking off Erdegaard, I think was a mistake. I think we needed to keep Erdegaard on. Whether Erdegaard was feeling something, whether he asked to come off or whatever, I don't know. But it was really surprising to see that. I wouldn't have put Kivior on. I would have put maybe Jorginho on. That's what we brought him for. To shore up that defence. He's a bit more of a defensive-ish minded player. For our midfield, but yeah, um, I don't know. All the subs really were a bit dodgy, um, except for bringing Trossard on, but he left it too late to bring Trossard on. Trossard's got a really good record against Anfield this season. He scored a hat trick for Brighton to get them a win at Anfield earlier in the season, so before 2023 obviously. I think he should have come on probably 65th minute, maybe give him a good 25 minutes, half an hour to make an impact. In the end, he had like 15, I think. Just very strange substitutions in my opinion, but most of the time he gets it right. Most of the time the substitutions speak for themselves. You're going to bring on Trossard, you're probably going to bring on Jorginho, maybe Eddie Nketiah when he's fit. I think he's fit now, so... but this game, the subs were all over the place. It was weird and it was too late as well. So he's got to learn from that. Hopefully he will. So that's my analysis of the Liverpool game. Let me know in the comments what you think about the game. And we're going to talk about West Ham. So yeah, West Ham are 14th right now, and they're only 3 points away from the relegation zone, which is absolutely crazy. The relegation fight, I think, is going to be even more interesting than the title fight, I think, in the next 7 or 8 games that we have left. Like I said, I think there's only like 6 points from the bottom 12. Yeah, the bottom half of the table is crazy this season. It's a very beatable West Ham team. It's a team that we should be beating. It's at let me have a look. It's at the London Stadium, which isn't good because obviously our away form has been pretty decent, to be honest with you. But I'm always worried when we're away. I always prefer a home game because I feel like we control games better in the Emirates. But yeah, I mean, it's a winnable game in my opinion. It's a game that we have to win. I bounce back from, because some points the Liverpool draw does feel like a loss, and we need to bounce back and get a decent, comfortable, good win against West Ham. Keep that 6 point lead, and then it's Southampton. Southampton at home. Like, no disrespect, but you absolutely. I mean, they've been banana skin team, to be honest with you, Southampton. They always seem to pip up with a point or two against us. So we do have to be aware of that. But the next two games, for me, are hugely winnable. They have to be winnable. We have to win them both. Um, I want to get into that game of the Etihad on the 27th with a 6 point lead in the top of the table. Maybe even more. I mean, I still think City are going to drop points this season. Um, and if we can do that, if we can go in that game with at least 6 points, then you never know. And then obviously there's only, let me have a look, there's 5 more games after that. And Chelsea's one of them. Brighton probably be difficult. And Forest, I think, will win against them, even though it's away. Wolves as well. Um, Newcastle, Chelsea, and Man City are the ones. Those 3 games are going to be the ones that decides this title race for Arsenal, in my opinion. My guess right now is I think we'll probably lose against City in the Etihad, and then I think we will win against Chelsea, and I think it's going to be a statement win. I think it'll be 2, maybe 3-0. And then I think I could see us getting a result, maybe a draw at St James's Park against Newcastle. And then Brighton, man, if we go into the Brighton game with a 5, maybe 6 point lead, it's all to play for, man. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be an interesting few weeks. It's going to be super stressful. I was talking to my mate the other day. Like, we should prepare ourselves now. Like, it's going to be like 2 months of just pure stress and anxiety. Every single game now is going to be scary. But this is what the title race is, and the Arsenal fans have just not been used to it. Because obviously we haven't won the league in 20 years, but we did come close in the Leicester season, I think 2016. We came second in that year. We ended up, I think it was like 6 or 7 points behind them, but we were in the title race for most of that season, and so we do have the fans of this do have experience being in title race, but this is where Jesus, Zinchenko, Jorginho, where these players who have won titles, won Premier Leagues, these guys have to step up and become leaders in this team now. They've been leaders all season long, but they have to really step up now, because this is a crunch time now. This is the business end. This is what we've all been working for and praying for the last 6 months or so. So yeah, that's what I think. I think we'll get a win. I'm probably thinking probably a 3-1 maybe against West Ham. Probably I want to get at least 4 against Southampton, in my opinion, but we'll probably concede 1 or 2. Yeah, so that's my review and my preview of this Liverpool and the West Ham game, guys. Let me know what you think about the rest of the season. Do you think Arsenal can do it? Do you think City will pip them to the title? City do still have the Champions League as well. That is significant because they obviously annihilated Bayern, so they're pretty much in the semi-finals now, which is good. I want City to reach the final. I don't want them to win it. I think it'll be, I think it might be a City Real Madrid final, to be honest, unless they face each other in the semis. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But as long as they're distracted by the Champions League, I mean, people really think that they're going to win the last. I think they've got 9 games left. Do you really think City are going to win all 9 games and then get to the Champions League final? I think that's what, 12, 13 games. I don't think they're going to win 13 games in a row. They're going to drop points, and they'd probably rather drop points in the Premier League. If I'm being honest, I think if you gave Pep Guardiola the choice, Champions League or the Premier League, he's going to go Champions League this season. I think, no matter how much he talks about enjoying being in the title race, but it's in our hands right now. We need to do what we've been doing all season. Don't let the Anfield thing. I think the Anfield result will galvanise the squad, in my opinion. I think they're all pissed off they didn't win that game. People think that maybe this is the start of a wobble. People have been waiting for Arsenal to wobble all season long, and it just hasn't really happened. It did a little bit. The Everton loss a couple months back, but other than that, we've not really wobbled. So touch wood, we go into the last 8 games in a strong position. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. But I will be back. I won't do a video of the day. I'll probably be midweek next week where I'll do another video talking about the West Ham game. And then hopefully, I'm gonna do videos after each game after that. So yeah, give a like in this video if you liked it. Thanks for if you stuck around this long. Thank you. I do ramble on a bit, but I love this team and I love what we're doing this season. I will give my review at the end of the season, whether it's good or bad. I think even if we don't win the league, I think it's still been an incredibly good season. People think that this is a fluke, that Arsenal have mistakenly managed to get into the title race. Are going to be in for a rude awakening because we've secured Martinelli now. We've pretty much secured Saka. We're going to secure Saliba, I think. We've got the core team. They're all 21 years old. Like, we've got them for at least 3 or 4 more years. So, you've got to get used to it now. This team's going to be together for the next couple of years at least. And they're only going to get better. We're only going to bring better players in that complement the team. So people thinking it's a fluke or a mistake are going to be in for a rude awakening, and it's going to be glorious because we are going to have Champions League football next season, regardless of whether we win the title or not, and. The Champions League absolutely needs Arsenal back. Holy moly! I mean, the Champions League, the standard of the Champions League has dropped the last 6 years or so. So it'd be nice to have an actual proper team in there again. We'll get Bayern next year, and it will be tough again. Bayern just seem to roll over for Man City and other English teams, but they play like prime Barcelona when they play us. So, not looking forward to that. But Champions League football definitely next year. So anyway, guys, I've rambled on enough. Give a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it, and yeah, we'll have a conversation in the comments. Take it easy, guys. See you next time. Adios.